Hello and welcome to the Iliopsoas Party. It is such a pleasure to welcome you into the room. Right now, we're live with 612, 626 yogis and counting, more than 5,500 yogis registered for this event, which is mind-boggling. I'm Lizzie Lasater. And the first order of business is we'd like you to find your way to the chat and let us know where in the world you're zooming in from. Hello from Gulfport, Florida. Hi, Suzanne. Hi, Sue Ann. Italy, California. Catherine, I see your raised hand, but there's nothing I can do about it right now. Brussels. Wow, 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 wow. Look at all these places around the world. What an honor to learn with you today. I want to introduce our teacher for today's class. I have the great privilege of introducing someone who has been teaching yoga since 1971. She studied personally with BKS Iyengar. She has a PhD in East-West psychology. She is a physical therapist. She is a co-founder of Yoga Journal magazine and has written 11 books on yoga and related topics, an astounding 11 books. And above all, she is a dedicated student of yoga. Please help me to welcome Judith Hanson Lasater. Hi, Mama.
Hi, Lizzie. I feel tired hearing all those things. So,
Welcome.
yeah, you know, practicing for 52 years and teaching for 51 years. And I still this morning had one of those resounding moments of understanding the obvious about practice that I like to share with all of
Yes.
us.
Yes, please.
So I was on my mat practicing, and I realized this obvious thing that it's not about what we get from our mat, from our practice, looser hamstrings, stronger arms, peace, even health. It's not really about what we get from the mat. It's what this practice allows us to become the yoga, to enter into that state of consciousness in which we understand the most important thing is what we give, which is our presence, our compassion. And that as teachers and practitioners of yoga, our being in that level of consciousness is why our students come, is what changes the world, is what are able, and the practice helps us be able to give.
Mm, I love that. Give a yes in the chat if that resonated from you. And let us know, are you a teacher? Are you a student? Oh, lots of yeses coming through. What's your current relationship with yoga? Teaching, studenting, what is yoga? Teacher and a student. Yes. Okay, lots of teachers here with us.
I,
Wonderful.
I like to say I'm a student of yoga who teaches. Sounds
Why
like
don't,
a lot of compadres with me.
yeah. Why don't you get us officially started, Mama, by ringing your bells? And we will, as we always do at Lassiter.yoga, begin our session with 1 minute of meditation. Remind us what this 1 minute is for. I mean, 1 minute doesn't really do much, does it?
It only takes a millisecond to become present. And this is also a formalized thing I do in my classes, all classes, Zoom or live, of disconnection from the past moments of getting here and reconnection with the present moment. So we're all freshly here. So I'm
Yes.
going to ring my bells and we'll sit in silence. Move your pubic bone down. We're going to talk about that in the iliopsoas soon. Move your pubic bone down, drop your chin, and be. Notice the shift in your consciousness, Lizzie, from 1 minute.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let me tell everyone our plan for the class today as Mama switches her audio back. I have a brief introduction to share with everyone and a very exciting announcement. And then we'll shift gears and Mama will teach about an hour the Iliopsoas Party class. There's a bit of lecture, we'll learn a bit of anatomy, and then we're going to get on the mat and feel everything in our bodies together. I'll be demonstrating, but hopefully you'll be on your mat wherever you are in the world. And then at the last portion, I would like to tell you some more about an upcoming course at Lasater.yoga. So does that sound good? Give a yes in the chat if you like this plan. What props will we need is a question. Mom, I would say we need a yoga mat and
Mm. A yoga mat basically is enough. We might need a block.
okay, perfect. And I see a few people raising their hand up and down. Vanessa, I can't help you, unfortunately. But the chat is your place to communicate with me as we go. So I'll be asking a few questions, and single words are easy for me to see. We're on now with 1,012 people. So really big party. So I can see quickly the yeses and the nos, the one words as they come through. Let me share my screen. Welcome to the Iliopsoas Party. This is a free class celebrating our new flagship course. And we want to give you an experience of feeling what happens when you feel anatomy and you don't just memorize it. So, who remembers experiential anatomy? That was a course that we made in 2017. Go into the chat and give a yes if you've taken that course. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Just scroll all the way down. What are people saying? Yes, 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 yes. Okay, lots of EA alums here. So, Experiential Anatomy was our first flagship anatomy course. It was really about movement literacy for yoga teachers and serious students, and it was based on Mama's beloved book, Yoga Body. So, two testimonials I want to share with you. We received so much positive feedback about that course, continue to receive positive feedback about how experiential anatomy was life-changing. From Dana, my life has changed since the first experiential anatomy, both my practice and teaching. My classes are full, the depth of my instruction is well received, and my students are thrilled with the strength and knowledge they have gained. So, receiving feedback like this and the next one is what encouraged us to make an experiential anatomy 2.0, which is what we're here to celebrate today. This quote, experiential anatomy was absolutely worth the financial investment. The depth, clarity, and practical tools I received far exceeded what I've experienced in other yoga trainings. Marita is asking if we can see you. No, we can't see anybody on this webinar style. So I'd love to know in the chat, for those of you who took Experiential Anatomy 1.0, in a single word, how would you describe the transformation? What changed for you after taking that course? I'd love to see what clarity, awareness, feeling it, says Laura. Lights on, knowledge, confidence, grounding from Jackie. Trust. Hi, Jackie. Re-inspired. Audra says restoration. Janine feels smarter, confidence in practice and teaching, deep connection within, focus. Oh, I love this. Heidi. Hi, Heidi. I taught from the body more. Yeah, okay. That's the whole message. Exactly. So I am introducing today, you're the first group of yogis to see this, our brand new, what we've been calling behind the scenes Experiential Anatomy 2.0, and it's called Experiential Anatomy Yoga Therapeutics. It's all about reclaiming your natural body alignment and joy in asana. So we start with what the body knows and what the body wants itself. So a real thesis for us in this new course, I'll just say two or three things about it, and then we'll move to the Iliopsoas Party. is that your body is smarter than you. My body is smarter than me. Sometimes even mama likes to say your pelvis is smarter than you. So, this new course is about attuning to natural movement and integrating functional anatomy into practice and teaching unlearning this word that if you've been with us for a while, you know we love this word, unlearning. So, what is yoga therapeutics? It's really the idea that there isn't one rule for everyone. And what it requires is stronger observation, anatomy, and kinesiology skills, which is frankly far more than most yoga trainings offer. Kathy says the pelvis is everything in the chat. Absolutely. So, this is the idea. Many of you know Mary Richards' book, Teach People, Not Poses. That's what this course is about. And who are the teachers of this course? I've already introduced to you Mama, Judith Hanson Lasater. Once again, collaborating with us is the great Mary Richards. And I'm here hosting all of the sessions. So, oh, Caesar says, I love that book by Mary. Absolutely. I would love to know in the chat who has taken anything from Mary online or in person. Give a yes to that. And what do you love about studying with Mary? If you could do it. Yeah, I'm a Mary groupie. Someone says. So good. Okay, she is somatic woman. Yes, she is so smart. She's an anatomy nerd. Her enthusiasm, her compassion. I love Penelope, her cat. Yes, yes, yes. We just love Mary. Yeah, she's a powerhouse. We are so lucky to have her back on the team. She's a certified yoga therapist and she's been teaching since 2002. I'm Lizzie Lasater. I'm a yoga content creator, a yoga teacher since 2005. I like to sort of cheekily say that I've been practicing yoga since the womb, but I've been teaching since 2005. So, the last question before we move to the iliopsoas is, can you please give me permission to share more details about the course with you? Give a yes in the chat if you'd like to hear more details about EA 2.0, Yoga Therapeutics. So many yeses. Okay, yes, 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 please. So stay until the end. We're now going to transition, and this will be really a sample class, what it feels like to work with us online. What we strive for is a real warm, authentic, intelligent tone. And Mama will teach, I will demonstrate. You're here in the chat with us. We have a community of yogis. So if you want to stay till the end, there'll be a clear transition. And then I will tell you in more detail about the course. And today's students, if you're here with us live, you're going to hear about a special bonus enrollment offer that we have for you. So it starts on October 2nd, which is in 23 days. We're so excited to share that with you. Okay, Mama. I think, how long is today's session? Catherine is asking. We're going to be 90 minutes in total. So we're 15 minutes in, which means we have 75 more spacious minutes together. Happy birthday, Chrissy. Their birthday is October 2nd, which is the day. What we're doing is the Experiential Anatomy Yoga Therapeutics course is going to start on October 2nd, and enrollment is going to close on October 2nd because we want to move together as a group learning together. Okay, Mama, where do you want to start for the iliopsoas?
I want to give you the big picture. 3 points about the big picture of studying the iliopsoas. So turn the brain on, maybe take notes. Number one, the iliopsoas muscle, and we're going to look at it in a minute after we see these big things. We have some anatomy drawings to show you. Initiates the swing phase of walking. What does that mean? When I step forward on my left foot and my right foot is behind me, the iliopsoas is the key muscle to bringing my femur, my thigh bone of my right leg forward to the second step. It's a slow twitch muscle. You can walk for hours, but it is connected to the vertebral column, the pelvis, and the femur. And that is unlike any muscle. It's connected to the vertebral column, the pelvis, and the thigh bone. It's really an important muscle. Number two, in Tadasana and in Tadasana, big picture, it's what creates the entire pose for me. Because what it can do when you understand how to ask it to work, we can't make it work, but we can ask it to work. And it brings the pelvis, which is in the middle of the vertebral column in the legs, into a neutral position, which then the vertebral column has its natural curves effortlessly. And the weight is felt through the legs because the pelvis sits exactly over the femurs. You use the iliacus to do that. We're going to talk about it. But this brings the pelvis exactly over the femurs, so the weight goes exactly through the femurs as it should. Number three, big picture. When we want to sit in meditation, it's critical that that position is held not by lifting the back up. I mean, you can try this right now. If you just are sitting in a chair, hopefully not driving, so you can focus with us. When you move the pubic bone down and sit on the legs, that's using the iliopsoas. The vertebral column now lifts up into a normal curve. Flat back is not a normal back. A flat back in the lumbar or anywhere else is not a normal back. Pubic bone down, bringing the pelvis into a neutral position. Then this vertebral column has its own effortless, natural position. Lizzie, can you feel that?
Yes, I can.
All right. When we get to the practice, I will want you to help me remember to show that, because these are the three big picture things. And I think we're ready now for the anatomical pictures.
Okay, let me share my screen with you. This is from Pocket Anatomy, which is now called Anatomus, and they are generous enough to let us use their app for our demonstrations. So here is the psoas muscle. What do you want us to see?
Anterior pelvis we're looking at. And put your cursor, if I may, Lizzie, near the top of the iliopsoas, up. It joins onto the vertebral column. We'll look at the vertebral column in a second. Actually, let's look at it now. So the iliopsoas is attached to the bodies. The bodies are the big central part of the column. From T12, which is one up from where you are, it's got the last rib, thoracic 12, it's attached to the body of T12 all the way down to L4. And it's attached to the transverse processes of all the lumbar vertebrae. Those transverse processes, they're out like a bicycle handlebars. You know, if you have the bicycle, not the racing ones, but the ones that are out, and when you turn your wheel, you turn the handlebars. The transverse processes are like the handlebars. So it's on the bodies of T12 through L4, and the transverse processes of L1 through L5. It's connected there. That's where it originates. That's where it comes from. The iliacus, which we'll talk about, arises from that, what's called a fossa, which is like a scooped out well inside the hip bone. And circle around in that area with your arrow, Lizzie. It fills up that area. But what happens is as the psoas comes down and the iliacus a little bit to the side, they blend together in a common tendon of insertion on the lesser trochanter. That's inside the thigh. It's covered by so many deep muscles like the adductor muscle. You can't really palpate it, but feel it. But it's running from the vertebral column. joins with the fibers from the pelvis and it attaches to the femur. This is what I really want you to know. That's what the iliacus is. And there is another muscle we're not going to really deal with today that's part of this group called the psoas minor, but scientists tell us there's as many as 70% of people don't have one, and it is very thin. So we're just going to focus conceptually on the psoas major and the iliacus. So,
Okay, before I just want to, so people have seen now where the iliacus is
yes,
and where they're here.
yes.
This common tendon comes in here. And then, so now I'm going to add two layers. Keep your eyes on these spots and see if you can spot. So here come the ligaments, and then here come the muscles. So here is the
Keep going
psoas.
down with your arrow all the way down. Yes. And then the iliacus is lateral. Yes. And then it joins in a common tendon of insertion. So these are very important, long, strong muscles that we use to maintain the position of the trunk and to walk. And most people, I think, tend to have tighter hip flexors. These are the main hip flexors because for two opposite reasons. They sit all the time. So when you sit, when you bring your femur toward your trunk, when you're sitting, you're sort of halfway bringing your thigh bone toward your trunk. So that takes any stretch off of the muscle. Is that clear, Lizzie?
Yes.
So, it can get tighter, but it can also get tighter through exercise, because think about how much they have to work and how much force they have to create in running, for example.
Yeah,
Biking.
that's what I wanted
Biking.
to That's what I wanted to ask. First of all, your enthusiasm is just so obvious. You're like so excited about the iliopsoas. When Mama first pitched this as the idea for this class, I was skeptical, but I'm slowly coming around. So let me see if I can repeat back what you said, maybe in
Okay.
more simpler terms to make sure that I've got it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
what you're saying is the iliopsoas is this big muscle here, and the iliacus is this muscle here. And the iliopsoas, especially, is connecting the vertebral column, the spine, and the pelvis and the femur. So it's a
Yes.
crossroads muscle that's going to be essential to really any form of movement of the lower body, and also essential, I'm guessing, in the relationship between my trunk and my lower body.
And it really affects the vertebral column because it's
Right.
attached to all those lumbar vertebrae.
Right.
And so the psoas is, and so when you use your psoas, it affects your column and the placement of the pelvis. And that's the easiest way to practice yoga asana, is from the pelvis, because it's going to affect the lower body and it's going to affect the vertebral column.
Mm. So my question is, because of where it sits, this, by the way, is the quadratus lumborum, just because I kind of thought that that was the psoas. I thought I could almost feel the psoas on my back, but it's deeper than that. So does the iliopsoas play a role in back pain for some people?
Sure. If it's tight and it's pulling you into flexion, that's putting a lot of pressure on the discs on the front
Mm,
of the
mm.
body. And if the
Okay.
discs have a lot of pressure, they can push out against the nerves. Yes, and then the muscles have to compensate,
Mm,
because when you stand in gravity, which we all do, thank God, we don't float off the earth. When you tuck your pelvis in Tadasana, you're putting more pressure on the discs and you're making the
mhm,
lower back less stable. And then the
mm.
quadratus is one of the muscles that gets really grumpy when you hold yourself out of alignment that long. But I will tell you this from personal experience, from all my years of teaching, the singular most grumpy muscle in the body is the iliopsoas.
Okay.
It gets,
I, there,
no, let me just say, Any this misalignment could be a short-term one, a long-term one. Menstrual cramps, it can be affected in pregnancy. Like the iliopsoas can be very grumpy.
Yeah. Um, okay, there is someone saying in the chat, Julie, I'm going to need some schooling on the cue, move the pubic bone down.
Oh
So,
boy, are you going to get that today, Julie? You're going to be sick of it.
okay, great. And there was one question about from Kat. Can you show us where they originate on the slide? So let me show that one more time, and then we'll turn off the anatomy visualization. So here it's a little tough to see because there's some things covering it. But if I take this down, what I understood is that it's the last thoracic vertebra and then the bodies of the first four lumbar
Yes.
vertebra, and then these transverse processes, which are the handlebars of the bicycle that stick out, it attaches to all of these little nubs here.
All five of them in the lumbar spine. And then it comes down. And if you could go to L5, I mean, yeah, L5. And then it comes down and it crosses laterally and joins with the iliacus tendon. And those tendons come together and insert there. So those are the 2 points. There's a
The
lot of,
body,
yes.
I was just gonna say the body's so intelligent. I mean, it's like these actually look like little nubs for it to hold on to.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you want to talk about now before we move to the mat?
Um, I think we should actually look at some poses now.
Okay. So I'm gonna spotlight myself so I stay big even when Mama talks, but she's obviously here with us.
All right. Let's look at the sitting thing first. So would you, how many blankets do you like usually to sit or cushion? Just you take 2 blankets.
Okay.
Or, but I don't want you to use them first. And would you get the white cloth,
Hmm.
the magic white cloth, as he wants to wear black because everyone wants to wear black leggings now. And you can't see differentiated from the mat. Those are actually 2 mats. All right. So just sit sideways in an easy cross leg. Okay. Now, what most people do, what the most people do is they roll a little bit backwards like that. We're exaggerating. The knees come up a little bit. All right. So when the pelvis, try this yourself. When you roll backward from the pelvis, the entire column is affected. Would you agree, Liz?
Absolutely.
Now try to, excuse me, try to take a deep breath.
It's
Not
hard.
only do you affect the column, but you interfere with the excursion of the diaphragm. You feel it?
Yes.
Sorry. I really want you to feel these things. All right. So, what people try to do, they try to push the knees down, whatever. But think of now, just sit. No, yeah. And what I'm going to want you to do is to think of your pubic bone. It's right in the front part of the pelvis where it comes together. That bone right there. Now, you can only use 2 fingers, it's not that big.
Okay.
Show us again the pubic bone. Yes. All right. That's the part of the anterior pelvis. Yes. All right. So what I'm going to offer you is to change the position of the pelvis by thinking of where the pubic bone is. So move your pubic bone up toward your head, and that takes you further into that position, which is not what you want. Now come back and move the pubic bone down. All right. Excellent. Do you tell us what you feel?
I feel it really on my sit bones. Here, I feel like I'm sitting behind my sit bones, and then I feel myself roll up, over, and now in front of my sitting bones.
And look at the posture and tell us, Lizzie, are you using your back muscles to do this?
Not that much. If I sit up on blankets, then
Yeah,
I
that's
then
what we're
no.
going to do next. But you're really mostly using you're using the psoas, you're pulling, and that, remember where it attaches, the transverse processes, all of them, and the bodies of the vertebrae, you're pulling them down and forward with that muscle. But you
Yeah.
can't say, okay, iliopsoas contract. But you can say, move my pubic bone down.
Yes.
It's just like if you turn your palm up and you bring your hand toward your shoulder with your at the elbow. You're not telling your biceps to contract. You're telling your hand to move toward your shoulder.
Yeah.
That's how we communicate with our body, because it's so complicated. We could not walk across the room if we had to intellectually think about it. So now most people are not as open as you in the hips. So take your blankets, and this is what people often do. Let's show them what I don't want.
Yeah.
Most people think the blankets, okay, I'll sit up on blankets. But then what they do is they sit on the blankets and it's just all elevated.
This
So
is
turn,
your student. This is your beginning yoga student. It's this.
yes, yes. And most of us teach beginners most of the time. All right. So now turn it to corners. If, however, the key is the pubic bone moving down, the emphasis is on the pelvis, we're going to sit with the pelvis elevated and the femurs free. Now
Okay,
drop.
ready? Are you ready
Ready?
for the dramatic moment?
Yes,
Ready?
I'm ready for the dramatic moment. Now look at the posture. Would you move the hair behind the ear?
Yes,
Just
and I'm actually going to add one more blanket because
that, I was thinking that myself.
great minds.
Well, I don't know about that, but
Hold on, let me.
he has too much hair. I used to get the tangles out of that hair. I know. All right. So go back round. So when you move the pubic bone down, you roll the pelvis forward. Now, if you look right below her white shirt, you'll see the sacrum is at an angle, the ears over the shoulders over the hip. Now you feel nothing in your erector muscles and the spinal muscles along the spine, correct?
Zero, zero. And I just had the spontaneous urge to take a deep breath.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm saying like this position, I feel I
It
can breathe.
allows the excursion of the diaphragm. And you do it by using the iliopsoas. Because remember, it's a slow twitch muscle, which means it's not like your eyelids that are fast twitch muscles or other two types of muscles. A slow twitch muscle is an endurance muscle. So you can sit for a long time. You can walk for a long time.
Okay,
So
so let me see if I've understood you and give us a
yes,
yes in the chat if you're feeling this in your body. What I've understood you to say and what feels really clear to me is when I ask my pubic bone to move down, who's doing that is my iliopsoas, which is a muscle that's can hike all day. And so that action is not very taxing for the iliopsoas to hold me in this position versus what we many of us do is if the pelvis is tipped back, then we try to sit up straight for meditation, and then after 2 minutes
or
my back
less.
starts to grip.
That's exactly right.
Okay, let's see what people are saying. Yes, 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 I do this pretty naturally. Yes. um what if I'm not sitting on a blanket? Laura wants to know.
Sit on a block, sit on a bolster, sit on the
Yeah.
edge of a chair.
Okay, Sherry has a question. By the way, if you find the chat to be overwhelming and too busy because we're on with 1.1 thousand yogis, then just close your chat window. You don't need to watch it. You can just listen to us.
I never
Um,
watch the chat because I'm old. That's my excuse.
Mama describes herself as a pre-millennial.
Yes, I'm a premillennial. There was actually life before the internet.
Julie is asking. This is I like this question. Can we roll the pelvis too far forward?
Sweetheart, it's always possible to do too much. So Lizzie show, and
Okay.
sometimes it's really fun to do too much. All right, sit on the edge of your blanket again. One more time, Lizzie. So I want you to do too much. That takes you off. Too much takes you off center just as radically, just as obviously, just as visually as too little. But I have to say, in all my years of teaching, I don't think I've ever seen the too much. But it's
Mm.
possible. It's possible. All right, now I'm going to give you all a little quiz question.
Okay.
Okay, Lizzie,
Hmm.
you can look at the screen. When you do cat cow, maybe we'll do it in a second. When you round your back up in the cat, where is your pubic bone? It's moving toward the navel. Yes?
Yes.
Now, move your pubic bone down to imagine the back. In fact, just go do it.
Yeah, I think that's going to be clearer. There was also a question, Mom, about how to cue the pubic bone down in chair yoga. I'm assuming you would cue it the same way.
Do.
Yeah.
You teach people cat cow. Lizzie and I have a course.
Mary is in it too. It's called the Cat Cow Intensive. You can find it on YouTube if you go to lizzie.yoga, www.lizzie.yoga is my website. And if you go to contact and find my YouTube channel, you'll find the Cat Cow Intensive. It's a playlist of about 6 videos with different variations of cat cow.
It's hysterical. I mean, who does an intensive on the cat cow? We do. You're crazy friends. All right. So, cat cow, I want you to tuck your tailbone, and you see how the pubic bone and the navel come closer together.
Yes.
What I'm suggesting in sitting for most people is the
Hello? She's frozen. Yeah, she just dropped off. Mama, are you there? I think she was going to say the opposite. Jamie says the cat cow intensive was fabulous. Yeah, sound dropped. Are you hearing me as well? Yes. Okay. Well, we just have lost mom for a moment. She's frozen. There she is. She's coming back.
oh,
Hi, we got you.
good. Okay.
So you
So,
were just saying the cat cow, when you hear the pubic bone is coming towards the navel.
that's flexion of the column. And now you move the pubic bone between the legs. You come through neutral, which is a little bit of an arch. Keep going a little bit more. That's like a tiny bit more, maybe. That's it. And then you do a lot more. You keep doing it. But that is the movement of the pubic bone moving between the legs that brings in the sitting position you into a neutral position. So let's
So
look at Tadasana. Are you
this
ready?
seems, yes, this seems really simple, but I find it extremely useful and I like teaching this way. It's a key insight from Mom and Mary is to help us feel these concepts in different relationships to gravity. So we just felt it here in sitting, and then we're feeling it here in cat cow, or you could teach it to your students first in cat cow.
Okay, so
And
now when you're doing that, you're using your iliopsoas because no, go back to flexion all the way. It's imagine you're bringing your thighs toward your chest. That uses the iliopsoas. Yes.
yes,
Now, in this relationship to gravity, not sitting, but in this relationship, when you drop down with your pelvis, You're now stretching the iliopsoas. Keep going. This stretches the iliopsoas. You probably don't feel it.
No, but
No, because
I
you don't really have a super tight iliopsoas. But do you see you're moving the vertebra away from the pubic bone? The origin and insertion are moving apart. And then
yes. Let
if they
do
come
you
together, it's inflection. So now we're going
okay.
to take it to standing, which is a different relationship to gravity than you just had.
Okay, great. I'm spotlit. There's a little chatter in the chat. I should be spotlit now for everyone. Yeah. So Cheryl says when I go to the cow, which is the back bend one, it hurts my back.
Okay. Cheryl, I want you to try this. Lizzie, show it one more time.
Hmm.
See if this works for you. Most people, when they do the cow, is they think of pushing. Don't do it yet, Liz. They think of pushing the spine from the back body to the front body.
Yeah.
So that's probably what you're thinking, Cheryl. So now drop your head, Lizzie. Wait.
Hmm.
Inhale the breath. Now, what I want you to think is opening from pubic bone to breastbone to the sides and along the front of the spine. Open the front body and let the spine drop into it like a knife drops into soft butter. You feel the difference? All right,
It's like a receiving, not a pushing.
exactly. I want to check with her. Cheryl, I think your name was. Like, go check and see if that did it.
Okay, Cheryl, report back.
That did it. Another yoga miracle. So, really, intention has a tremendous amount to do with our happiness in life. What is the intention? Is it to push the spine forward? Is it to create the space for the spine to move forward? And it sounds like a simple or minimal difference, but the intention we have, making our intention conscious, is what asana is about. It's intentional movement. It's bringing awareness into movement. All right, so let's do some more of that. Let's look at Tadasana.
Okay, as I move back, there was a question, does the breath matter in cat-cow?
Pretty much breath matters all the time, as far as I can tell. I
That's what
do.
I would say.
We do coordinate it with the breath. Obviously, when you round, you exhale. When you inhale, when you open the front body. So, all right. Tadasana is a pose that is taught mostly, in my experience, with tucking. Yeah. All right. So I want you to stand the way I don't want you to stand. Turn slightly diagonally, just slightly diagonally. No, that's too much. All right. Turn your feet out. Now, you have externally rotated your femurs, have you not? Now,
Yes.
where is the lesser trochanter?
Here somewhere inside.
On the femur, inside. So, have you changed where the insertion of the iliopsoas is in relationship to the rest of your body?
Yes.
And when you do this, you even want to tuck more.
Yes.
Okay, now let us see from the side. Remember the insertion at the lesser trochanter. Turn your toes way in. That takes you into the arch. Now, you're not doing that with your spine. You're not telling your spine to backbend, are you?
No.
But what you're doing, you're becoming a kinesiologist. All of us are becoming kinesiologists because kinesis means movement. I like anatomy, but what I love is kinesiology because it's like saying, okay, here's a piano, and knowing about the black keys and the white keys and how many they are and how the piano is created. This is anatomy. But kinesiology is how does it play? So kinesiology is how does the body move, not just what the simple parts are. So when you stand with your toes in, you're moving the insertion of the iliopsoas down under you and backwards. And
Yes.
so it pulls the spine forward too much.
Yes.
That's what's happening. So stand now with the sides of your feet. I think that's a little wide for you. There we go. Exactly. No, turn the right heel out a little bit. Now the left heel, tiny bit out. Tiny, not that much. The outside border, the fifth metatarsal, the little toe side, exactly parallel to the edges of your mat. Now we need to see you from the side.
Okay, but just so at first I was standing like this, just so you have the front view, and then I was standing like this, and now I'm standing with the outer edges parallel.
Turn the heels out a little bit more. When that happens, you're actually in neutral with the head of the femur. What does that mean? All right. Look at, can they
Yeah.
see me?
Yes.
All right. If this is the head of your femur, this is the neck, this is the femur, you're looking at the person from the front. The femurs do not go into the body like this, into the acetabulum, which means vinegar cup, into the hip socket. The hip socket points slightly forward. The femur comes in at an angle. So that means the outside trochanter bump is in front of the ball of the femur. That is neutral. So show them on your body now. Stand up, Lizzie.
Okay, hold on. Let me replace the spotlight.
By the way, was that my internet or yours?
Sure.
Because you froze.
You froze.
We froze together. We're unfrozen. Okay. So if you, let's see, where was I? Oh, stand and look at us. Put your fingers on the side of your hips. So you've 2 fingers each hand where you feel that bump in the hollow. That's the trochanter. That's that outside bump that you need to pad when you go camping. It's very specific. You feel it, Lizzie?
Yes.
So when you turn your feet out, that rolls backwards and the pelvis slips down in the back and you're standing not in a neutral position. You're tucking. You're interfering with digestion, breathing, elimination. And if you turn to the side, when you do that, right, you're hanging on your iliopsoas. Yeah. And look at the breastbone. There's no, yeah. Okay. So when you stand, put your fingers on the trochanters again and look at us. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Outside feet exactly parallel, not the inside feet. Now the trochanter is directly over the ankles. And now the pelvis is sitting up and exactly on top of the femoral heads. Yes or no?
Yes.
Turn to the side.
Okay, I have a question. Is a
Yes.
one cue that you use when you teach in Tadasana, do you say pubic bone down?
Sometimes. But what I want you to look straight, is if you draw a line from her ear to her shoulder, through her trochanter, through her knee. Take your top femurs back a little bit. Mm-hmm. Now I think maybe you have your pubic bone a tiny bit too much down. Take the lower ribs in and the shoulder blades forward. There you go. How does that feel?
Effortless.
Effortless. Ah, effortless. Present. Are you present?
Mm-hmm.
Are you living in your legs and your feet and your pelvis and your trunk and your head? Are you
Mm-hmm.
living in the moment?
Mm-hmm.
Take your awareness to the back of your skull, back of your brain. Soften the eyes slightly downward. The brain is over the heart, which is over the belly. You are aligned with the stars. Tadasana. Thank you. Rooted in the earth, yearning. Tadasana is the mountain. The mountain is rooted in the earth and yearning for the heavens reaching for the heavens at the same time. That's what Tadasana is. And the pelvis is sitting exactly on top of the femurs. And for most people in our culture, you have to look at a child to see a normal vertebral column curves, because adults have been taught to tuck the tailbone. Tucking the tailbone collapses the pelvic floor. It does not strengthen the abdominal muscles. And you need to use your iliopsoas, for most of us, to pull the pubic bone down like I'm doing right now. Do you see how it lifts me up?
Yeah.
Because of the iliacus and the vertebral column, the pelvis is being pulled forward so that it comes exactly the acetabulum on top of the femoral heads. And then the pose becomes effortless. Verse Pada 2, chapter 2, Patanjali, verse 46, Stiram Sukham Asanam. The definition of asana, abiding in ease, being still and at ease. That's what an asana is, which is ironic because we think of it as movements that are unpleasant.
Okay,
It's stillness. 1 second. It's the stillness that is Tadasana. It's not the position. It's the stillness it allows to be revealed, the stillness that lives in you. Yoga doesn't create that. It exposes that. Namaste.
2 powerful things from the chat. Jennifer reports Tadasana with the least effort ever. And then there's a very beautiful comment that I'm trying to find from Anne, or Anna, says this was the most emotional Tadasana I've ever done.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the asana is not a physical act. It's a spiritual commitment. Namaste. All right. I'm looking at our time.
You have about, I would
I
say,
see.
15 more minutes.
All right. Let's look at Trikonasana.
Yeah, let's do that. I do see a lot of stuff in the chat about anatomical variation and lordosis and those questions we won't be able to get to. And
let me just answer the lordotic one.
Let me say one thing though. And Thalia says, can you please repeat those last beautiful words? Everything will be on the recording. So make sure you're subscribed. I'm sure almost all of you are. That's how you found your way to this Zoom. But make sure you're subscribed to our Experiential Anatomy newsletter. I'm putting the link right now into the chat. And the recording is going to go out there tomorrow. Okay. Tell us about lordosis, Mom.
I've taught yoga for 51 years, and finding true lordosis in adults in the West is extraordinarily rare. The normal position of the sacrum in neutral with neutral means a normal lumbar curve. The vertebral column has curves. A straight spine is, if it's held straight all the time, is not a healthy spine. It has to have its curves. That's what gives it the freedom of movement and the resilience. So if you look at yourself in the mirror or your students from the side, the sacrum should be 35 to 45 degrees, not vertical. And that's a whole other workshop. That's a whole other, the sacroiliac joint is.
I mean, what makes sense to me is that I spend 95% of my day sitting. Everyone I know spends 95% of their day sitting. And so sitting naturally, I'm tucking backward. And so it makes sense to me that tucking is not going to be a movement that I really need to practice in my asana because I'm like passed out of tucking in life from all the sitting.
You got a PhD in tucking.
So that's what, like, my mental shift was like, oh, okay, let me focus a little bit more on pubic bone down activities on my mat because that doesn't seem to be happening on its own in my life.
Now, I just want to say this point again. I'm not teaching someone to contract your iliopsoas. That is a meaningless statement. But I want you to understand that but I can teach them what to do that makes the iliopsoas do what I want it to do. I hold my legs still in Tadasana. I move my pubic bone down and the vertebral column. We did it in sitting. It's exactly the same thing. That's the iliopsoas. That's what it's doing. All right, now let's look at Trikonasana.
Okay, but first I have to read you this from Misha in the chat. This is hilarious. Because some people have been lovingly asking you to repeat, repeat, repeat because they're trying to take notes. And someone said I can't write fast enough for all these nuggets. And so Misha says, you wouldn't ask Yoda to repeat his words in order. Our job is to listen and receive, Mom.
So do I look
Yoda.
like Yoda to you? Yoda, Yoda, I am not.
Yoda, you are not. Okay,
Okay.
spotlight, and I'm gonna get a block for
Yep.
triangle.
Okay. So first, I want you to do it from the side. No, I want to see you from the side.
Like that?
No, I want to see your back hip.
That?
Yeah. That's good because we always do it to the right. We do some things traditionally around here. Okay. I want you to do, and this hurts me so much to say, Trikonasana through two panes of glass. And if I can find out who started that rumor,
I just had an
I had a
idea.
talking to with that person.
I'm gonna try something that just occurred to me. I'm gonna put this strength training band on. Let me see if this
Ooh, a
will help.
fashion accessory.
Well, if this will help you see my pelvis a little
No,
bit
I
more.
think it's fantastic. Okay.
Okay.
Trikonasana to the right. Turn your back toes in.
Okay, but between
Now I
two
want
panes
you
of
to do
glass.
it as if you're doing it between two panes of glass. How does it feel?
Gross.
Now come up. When you do it this time, then we're going to look at it from the front too. I want you to move your left, especially your left pubic bone down. Now, how does it feel?
Spacious.
All right, let's look at it from the front.
From this side?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what most people are told to do is to hold the back pelvis back, and then it becomes a side bend. And so you can't see with the shirt, but she's really rounded. She's really rounded. This from her armpit to her hip, it's really rounded, and you cannot breathe well. Now just stay there, inhale the breath. Now exhale, drop your left pubic bone down. Now take the brick down. Lower the brick. Do you even need the brick?
Yes.
All right. Now drop your top ribs down. Notice the line of energy from the center of her brain through the center of her heart, through the center of her pelvis, straight down to the back foot. Can you breathe?
Yeah.
Now, don't change anything else. Inhale the breath. Exhale and take your right shoulder blade underneath towards us. Yes, how is it? Look at the
Delicious.
energy of it, everyone. It's not to the dynamism of the movement like a star. She's rooted in the earth. She's stretching toward the earth. She's lifting toward the heavens. She's enjoying herself. Yes?
Yes.
Inhale, come up.
Is this helpful or should I take it off?
I
You don't need
think
it.
it was moderately successful. It, there's something that I think we don't train people enough to do as teachers is to feel the pose, to see it with soft eyes, to feel it with your heart, the energetics of the pose, not
The
just the alignment.
student's pose. Of the
Yes,
student's pose. Okay.
pose. And I really also have something that is so important saying, which is alignment before range.
Yeah.
So if you go for range, people can get injured. But if you go for alignment, range will come and your students will not get injured. So you need to turn your back heel out. Now, some people like to put their front heel aligned with the middle arch, some with the heel, some with the toe. I leave that up to you. There's not, but I also like you, and I wish if you're doing this with us, you would turn your front toes out a little bit like Lizzie is doing. Show us from the front, Lizzie. Turn towards us and show us how much you're turning that front foot out.
Okay, so it's like what often happens is people actually kind of end up here when they're not
Yeah,
paying
and then the
attention.
pressure goes on the knee, the
Yeah.
inner knee. There you go. Now, I want to remind everyone of something. The pelvis is a bony ring. Okay, just stand there. The pelvis is a bony ring. If this is your pubic symphysis in the front and this is your pelvis, that I've got the opening like the pelvis, you cannot turn the right hip, i.e. pelvis, because the hip joint is the pelvis of the femur. You cannot turn the front one out and the back one back, because that would have vulsed the pubic symphysis. Not something I recommend. The pelvis is a bony ring. It has to turn together. So that means when you turn the right one out, the left one comes slightly down, and that's what the iliopsoas is doing. The femur rotates out, but the back pelvis comes down. Let's look at it again.
Tracy says the cue to drop the pelvis down is freaking awesome. No pinching in my hip.
All right. Who said that?
Tracy.
Tracy?
Hmm.
Tracy, I have something I want you to think about. When you take a yoga class, when you teach yourself, trust yourself first. If something really hurts, that's your body's telling you that you need to pay attention and alter that. No teacher knows your body like you do. You live in that body. Trust yourself first. Notice I didn't say trust yourself only. Trust yourself first always in life. Trust yourself first. Trust your belly. If it really hurts, listen to that. Thank you, Tracy, for hearing me. All right, let's do it again. One more time. You want to do the other side, Lizzie? All
Tracy
right.
says XXX. Um, okay. So I would
Put
love
your
because of
hands on your pelvis. Like, yes. Okay. Turn your heel out. And what would you like, sweetheart?
talk us as I do take the pose, what is the iliopsoas doing in this complex movement?
On the right side, it's pulling slightly forward. Yes, that way. It allows the pelvis to come forward over the femoral head like a forward bend. Drop
So
the rib.
it's stretching.
Oh, it's contracting, I think. It's pulling you forward. And that because you're creating the balance and the counter movement by turning your back thigh out. It's stabilizing your pelvis there because it's being pulled out and down at the same time. So you feel much more stable in your back hip. Yes or no?
Yes.
And that just grow that stability like a plant, like grow it down through the back foot and drop between your waist and yes. Take the hand. Let's try this. Take your supporting hand 2 inches toward the wall in front of you. Now inhale the breath. Exhale and drag the bottom ribs toward the window. Now, everybody just lean back from that picture and see the dynamism and harmony and action. She's not holding the hip back. She's letting the pelvis move because the pelvis is smarter than you are. All right. Somebody says they've never thought of it as a, Patty was saying, she never thought of it as a, and then I have to know what she said.
As a forward bend, this made a huge difference. Thank you.
Yes. All right. Let's look at lunges now.
Okay, you have 5 minutes.
What?
You have 5 minutes
To do lunges?
to do whatever you want to do to draw us to a elegant conclusion before I present the experiential
All
anatomy
right, let's do the lunges.
course. Okay.
Okay. This is how to stretch a tight psoas. Okay, so we need to do a lunge, Liz. I want them for more than 5 minutes, Lizzie. The
I know.
course that we do has live sessions.
Yeah.
She'll tell you about that. All right. Let's put you right foot forward, left foot toward the window. All right. Put the block aside for the moment. So type in the chat, which iliopsoas are we stretching? The right or the left? I hope you're doing this with us. Obviously the left. So when you're there, I want you to move your heel, your front heel in front toward the door to your dining room forward. So the
Hmm.
heel is under the knee. Lift up a little bit so we can see it. Your chest is, yeah. So there you go. Now, what I want you to do to stretch the iliopsoas is press. Listen, everyone. You're trying to keep your back legs straight and you're trying to push your pelvis down. And 51% of the effort is pushing the pelvis down, and 49% of the effort is resisting from the knee. So you're bending really slowly. Do you feel that? You feel the front thigh?
Yes, it's torturous.
Or just stop and breathe to that. Now release it down. You think you're free, but you're not. Now you're going to do the opposite. The pelvis is trying to keep you down by 49%. And the back leg is trying to straighten against the resistance. If you straighten your back leg, you're not doing what I want, because keep the pelvis down and slowly straighten the back leg. That's probably enough.
Yeah.
You feel that whole frontal compartment of the thigh, the rectus, the iliopsoas. Can you take the bricks back a little further toward your back foot? Now, does that make a difference?
It increases the intensity, yes.
All right, so take them back to the foot. And I want to show you one more thing. Drop it, stay there.
I got to switch legs.
All right, that's okay. Because you like living, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what I want you, this is fun, again, take your foot slightly further forward. There you go. So you're really standing exactly with a vertical shin. Yes. Okay. Now, this time, I want you to roll your back heel. Keep your knee straight. Inhale the breath. Exhale and roll your back heel toward the wall behind you a little bit, not too much. Now press down. Do you feel the difference?
I'm sweating.
You're doing the biggest mistake in asana practice is do it the same way every time. Come out. Now, stand in Tadasana and feel the difference. Where does your pelvis go?
I feel like I'm floating
Yeah, but the pubic bone moves where?
down.
So when you're in this position with the pubic bone, either sitting or standing, the pelvic floor is completely free. If you tuck your tailbone, you collapse the pelvic floor, you collapse the organs, you interfere with the diaphragm, blah, blah, blah. So come back from the top thighs, which means pull down from the pubic bone a little more. There you go. Thank you, Lizzie. I think that was my 5 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you all for playing yoga with me today. I hope it
Yes.
something.
Okay, tell us what you learned in a word, in a couple words in the chat. So awesome. That was awesome. Cannot wait to take the course. Thank you. Thank you, Judith. Creating space. The last stretch was magic. Ease in my body.
I hear your
Rel
thanks with my heart, but my brain would like to hear one thing you learned that you liked.
Freedom, strength, ease, pubic bone
You go
down.
down.
Pubic bone down. That's going to be our secret code word if we ever do a nightclub. Except for our nightclub will have to close at 9 p.m. because I have to go to bed.
So does Yoda. Yoda has to go to bed at 9 o'clock.
Okay, so thank you, Mama. That was fantastic. And that is a live example of what it's like. How much fun you make learning anatomy and kinesiology from the yoga mat up. Let me share my screen with you again, and we can look at this Experiential Anatomy Yoga Therapeutics course. It starts on October 2nd. Enrollment also closes on October 2nd. So that was the Iliopsoas Party. What is this? What makes this course different? And we are interested in not teaching anatomy for trivia, but for transformation. It's all about practical tools, deep understanding, and real-time mentorship. That's why we're closing enrollment and we're going to move together as a group. So, why you're here or who we created this course for. Maybe you've been teaching or practicing for years, but something feels like it's missing and you want clarity, confidence, and practical tools. Mama likes to say, I don't want to teach you anything that's not immediately applicable to your practice, to your teaching, and to your life. So we're all about practicality, not esoteric understanding or learning. And these are 5 of the most common problems that we hear from students. Give a number in the chat, which or all of them that resonate for you. You feel how aging or injuries change your practice? That's a yes for me. You get nervous when a student mentions pain or injury? Yes. You lack confidence in your anatomy knowledge? Yes. You've taken trainings before, but you still feel unsure? That's me. I'm all of these. You crave practical tools, not abstract theory. Okay, let me see what people are saying. 1, 2, 5. Yeah, a lot of people identifying yes, 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 yes. Okay, so what if that changed? And this course is giving you practical embodied insight. As you just saw with Mama, we're all about feeling it, learning the theory a bit, and then feeling it immediately in our bodies. Because yogis, so many of us are kinesthetic learners. We learn through experiencing it in the body. So we want you, first of all, to understand your own body more deeply, whether or not you are a teacher. And if you are a teacher, we want to help you support others skillfully. And it's not about memorization, as I know the anatomy portion of my first 200-hour yoga teacher training that I took, it was just about memorizing the names of the bones, which doesn't seem super relevant. We really want you to integrate this learning. And it's like an integration that you don't need to memorize a cue. When I stand up in front of my students, it's going to come out of me because I've understood it, I've felt it, and I've integrated it. And so I know how to speak in real time without a memorized cue because I'm seeing my students differently and because I have my own felt experience. Okay. I love this photo of Mary. That's Mary. Okay, so what you'll learn inside of this course, it's broken down into 3 sections, and each section has 4 chapters. Basically, this course could be a book, a textbook, I think. The standing yogi is the first section, and it's all about posture. We'll look at bad posture, forward head, humpback, which is about kyphosis, and low back pain, which so many of us experience, my partner, the people we live with, the people we love, and our students. So the second section of the course is called the seated yogi, surviving the chair. We'll look at sitting. Love this title, Chairs Are the Downfall of Western Civilization. We'll look at back bends, which is about opening the soft belly, rotation, which is all about twisting without shouting, and breathing, the key to which is movement. The last section of the course is called the walking yogi, fluid movement. And it wouldn't be a course with Mary Richards unless we had a chapter on the gluteus maximus, her favorite muscle. So glutes to the max, walking from your rear. We're going to talk about shoulders and why the scapula is the brain of the shoulder girdle. Knees, you're as old as your knees, and sure-footed, stability and mobility for your ankles and your feet. There are 2 ways to join this course, Experiential Anatomy, Yoga Therapeutics. We've never done this before, but we're trying a version now where there's 2 tracks. So there's a foundations track, which is aimed at serious yoga students, and a professional track, which is aimed at teachers, but students are more than welcome to join. And you'll see in a moment why you might want to join professional, even if you don't teach. Everyone is welcome to join the professional track. So, foundations, what does it include? This is 12 live Zoom sessions, which are 2.5 hours each with either Mama or Mary. I'll be hosting those. You have 30 hours of Yoga Alliance continuing education. You have access to our private course discussion board, and there's a certificate of completion. You have 3 years to access all session replays and course resources. So, really big package here. What does it cost? What is the investment for foundations? It's $995 or 3 payments of $350. We wanted to make it really accessible for you. And the thing I keep focusing on is that the transformation we've seen with students going through our first experiential anatomy program and the transformation that's available via this course is frankly worth so much more than this investment. Let's look at the professional track. So this is everything in foundations, plus there are 8 additional live Zoom sessions, which are we're calling seminar sessions, and those will be Q&A driven with Mom or Mary alternating. And in those, it's not going to be webinar style like we did today. Those you'll be able to ask questions directly, and we can spotlight you. You can turn on your video and work one-on-one using your body as an example, or ask a question about a student of yours with Mom or Mary directly. The professional track includes 50 hours of Yoga Alliance continuing education and a downloadable advanced therapeutics guide, which you'll receive at the end of the course in December, and an optional, don't stress, final exam for a professional certification. It also includes, and this is huge, this is something we've never done before. We're very excited to show you that this includes 6 months of access to Emmy, who is your Experiential Anatomy AI tutor. She's a private tutor for you. I'm going to show you a demo of that in just a moment. And it includes lifetime access to all session replays. We've heard that loud and clear from students over the years. You love lifetime access because we get emails all the time about people going back and revisiting the material because the sessions are so rich. So what is professional track? What does the professional track cost? So it is going to be $1,995 or 6 payments of $350. So we opened a payment plan here as well for the professional track. I mentioned it includes the professional track an exclusive tutor who is your private AI anatomy teacher. It's only inside the professional track. Let me show you. Let's all say hello to Emmy, who is our Emmy bot. She's part of our experiential anatomy team. I must read you this bio because it tickles me so much. Emmy Bot has memorized all of Judith Hanson Lasater's books and courses. She is endlessly curious about anatomy, yoga therapeutics, and the art of teaching. Emmy speaks Sanskrit fluently. In fact, she speaks every language fluently. She delights in helping students find clarity in their yoga studies. Warm, witty, and endlessly patient, Emmy is your devoted study companion. There was a question about Central European time. Yes, the sessions all start, I believe, at 7 p.m. our time, Central European time, something like that. It's all on the website, which I'm about to give you the link for. All of the dates of the live sessions, everything is recorded because we know everyone can't make it everywhere live. So what are the advantages of doing an AI tutor, of making that available to you? So she's available 24/7. She speaks your language. We have a lot of non-native English speakers. Give a yes in the chat if you're a non-native English speaker, but you're here with us today. It simplifies, yeah, Yeah. Yes. 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 Okay. So Emmy is able to simplify complex anatomy into clear, practical insights. She adapts to your level and exclusive to the professional track. No one else has access. We've never tried this before at Lasater.yoga. It's an experiment. So this is what it looks like. Here is where you'll be talking to her. And my question is, shall we do a live demo in real time? Give a yes in the chat if you'd love to see Emmy Bot. Mom is like, I can see mom looking. Okay, so this is what it looks like here. And hi, Emmy. I have been taught to practice Cobra pose with my feet together. But in the experiential anatomy course, Judith is saying to open the feet as wide as I want them to be. Can you please help me understand this? Okay, so I can speak into it. You can also type. Now it's going to transcribe what I've said. I'll send that off. And then she's going to think about it. And she has been trained on all of mom's books and all of the transcripts of the courses we've made to be able to give a really clear answer. Such a great and very practical question. Here's the essence of her teaching. Pelvic structure varies. Some people, often men, have a narrower sacrum, can comfortably practice cobra with their feet together. For them, the sacrum can nutate, but others, for students with a wider sacrum, common in women with an obstructive, that sounds like a mom phrase, obstetric pelvis. Well, I've heard mom say that in classes. So feet apart. So Judith's invitation to open the feet as wide as you want them to be is really about honoring your individual skeletal structure rather than following rigid rule. Um, okay, mind blown. Let me know in the chat what you're thinking when you see this. Now I'm going to say, please give me the answer in German. And we're going to have it auf Deutsch. The whole thing. No. It's like my mind is blown. So obviously, whatever your native language is, you'll be able to, in fact, ask your question in that language. And so in that sense, she's really a translation tool, which is so amazing. Okay, let me see the chat. Brilliant, fantastic, holy moly, mind
Lizzie,
blown. Yeah.
tell them about the image, where the image itself of the person came from, because I think they'll get a laugh about that.
Okay, I don't even think if Mary knows this yet. So this image is an AI composite image that the prompt I gave was make a person who is a blend of Judith Hanson Lasater, Mary Richards, and Lizzie Lasater. So if the three of us could somehow have a child, this is what she might look like. That's where we got this image. And it's, it's a personification of course, this is a chatbot, but it's a tool which I hope will be really valuable to those of you who are moving through the professional track. So now I want to tell you about the bonus. As promised, there is a bonus if you enroll in the course soon. So I have to pause the recording. Hold on. Make it. And we're back. So this is where you're going to go to read more. There's a ton of details on the enrollment page. If you go to www.lasater.yoga, you will find the course featured right at top. Also, if you take your phone right now and turn on your camera, this QR code will take you directly to the Experiential Anatomy Yoga Therapeutics enrollment page. Last reminder, enrollment closes. We're closing the doors on October 2nd. And we don't have any immediate plans to run the course again. So if you're tempted, we'd love for you to jump now. In the foundations track, you have 3 years to watch the material and absorb and integrate. And for the professional track, you have lifetime access to those videos. So it's worth doing now if you're interested. And again, back to the central idea of this course is about reclaiming your natural body alignment and joy in asana. If you have any questions about enrolling, one question I know a lot of people are going to have, if you already took Experiential Anatomy 1.0, is this a new course? Yes, it's absolutely brand new. I mean, it's the same material because it's the body, but it's a brand new take on it. Mary, Mama, and I have been writing the course for 2 years. The outline is 26 pages, so it's a very rich new take on it. It's the therapeutic application. So that's question number one. If you have taken EA, will you learn something new here? Absolutely. This is the 2.0. And there's another question from the chat. If you have taken EA, do you get a discount? Unfortunately, no. This is a brand new offering. If you have any questions beyond that, please reach out to the wonderful Sarah Jane. She's in our inbox at lasater.yoga@gmail.com. And I want to say in closing, before we say goodbye, that it has been such a privilege to make this course with you, Mama, with Mary Richards, with Sarah Jane has helped on the back end, with our brilliant photographer, Danny Gruber, who did all those photos you saw on the PDF. And I just feel an overwhelming sense of gratitude to be part of such a team of women and a community of yogis who are committed to lifelong learning. To you, Mama, I want to say thank you for waking up and getting on your mat every morning so that you have new and fresh. It is so beautiful to watch someone in their later 70s who continues to have fresh takes and new ideas and insights about yoga.
Thank you, Lizzie. Two things. I kind of wanted a partner in teaching yoga, so I grew one. I really like the one I grew, and I appreciate her enthusiasm and her skills uh, and her joy of life. And I also wanted to say, I don't think there's a course anywhere like this one. The level, the thoroughness, the bad jokes are worth it. And I hope I get to spend a lot of time with you when the course starts, which is exactly when, Lizzie?
October 2nd, and we'll work through the next couple months learning together. We'll be done before the holidays. So we hope you'll go to the website www.lasater.yoga, and we hope you'll join us for this learning adventure. Mama, would you please open the palms?
Turn the palms away from the body, inhale the breath, and exhaling, bring your palms together in front of the heart. Namaste.
Namaste.
May we live like the lotus at home in the muddy water. I love you, Lizzie Lasater.
I love you, Mama Lassiter. Great job.
Thank you.
So much fun. Thank you, everyone.
You all
Well,
for joining us. It's a wonderful song. It feels good. It
look,
feels good.
look at us. We ended right on time.
We tend to do that. We respect your time. Sending love across the skies. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks so much. Lots of fun.